What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, it feels so good to be back for our 51st episode. We are your hosts, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mouth.
Oh, yeah. 51 episodes,
dude,
man.
It's
Woo!
crazy.
It's crazy.
It really is crazy. But this is our first ever podcast that is sponsored, guys. Oh, my goodness. We have to send a special shout out and a special thank you to East Beach Specialties. So we're going to give you a little promo of what they offer.
For the last 18 years, East Beach Specialties has helped businesses, schools, churches, and clubs on and near the Mississippi Gulf Coast promote events, deploy effective marketing strategies, bring unique products to life, fill events with fun, and create unique giveaways. They offer products such as custom t-shirts, apparel like hats, polos, sportswear, and loungewear. They also offer corporate gifts and employee incentives, bags and accessories, social responsible products, and of course, promotional products. Visit eastbeachspecialties.com for your product because having fun is serious business.
All right, on the show today, of course, we have industry news. We got stuff going on like the Oscars. The Oscar nominations just came out. Who got snubbed? Who got what they rightfully deserve?
This is going to be fun to talk about.
Yeah, seriously. And of course, we have stuff going on with Netflix, Disney.
Spotify.
Spotify.
Harvey Weinstein, all the usual.
Exactly. And plus, we have a special guest coming on the show today from America 2.0. Who is it?
Antonio Lepore, the master composer behind the theme song and all the music in the podcast. He's also done Ride with Norman Reedus and just a whole ton of stuff that you guys have heard, popular shows and some films someday. He's going to be joining us later, though. And as always, we're going to talk to him about people trying to break into the industry, how he got into the industry, all kinds of fun stuff. So I can't wait for that phone call.
Yeah, and of course, we have This Day in History, box office prediction, the word of the day, and Billboard chart toppers.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's get started with industry news.
Let's jump in.
Let's do it. The Oscars, man, they finally came out. And
oh, man.
I got to say, I was okay with how things happened, how things turned out. But there was the director. I wanted Bradley Cooper to be nominated for Best Director.
All right. So let's get started right off because the biggie, obviously, everybody wanted to know. And yes, the answer is yes. Black Panther did make history by becoming the first superhero film or film of superhero genre, however you want to look at it, nominated for Best Picture.
That's epic.
Yes, 7 overall nominations, which is phenomenal. It's about damn time.
Yeah, seriously.
That said, I don't think it has a chance in hell of winning,
Again.
but it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. There's been dozens. We've talked about this on the past shows that I think should have been nominated before Black Panther, but Black Panther absolutely deserved it.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that because I think there's a couple of nominations it didn't get that it deserved as well.
Exactly.
But so Black Klansman, Spike Lee's latest joint, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice. Those are your Best Picture nominees.
Oh, man. And we just want to say we've been promoting it a little bit on social media. We're going to have an Oscar party. So, the night of the Oscars, you can tune in to our live streaming sources on our social media platforms.
And watch with us.
Yeah, and watch with us, see our reactions.
Yeah, and here's going to be the fun part. Ballots are available now.
Yes.
Go to abc.com or Oscars or get your ballot and fill it out because we're going to fill our ballots out and then we're going to watch live and see how well we do.
Yeah.
We got a little bet going on amongst us, but for all of you, if you get your ballot and you fill it out, everybody who has the best ballots, or if somebody actually predicts all of them right,
perfect ballot.
Wow.
What?
You're going to have a shot at winning one of our new Crazy Ant shirts.
Hell yeah.
So you can get your ballots and then email it to us. You can go to crazyantmedia.com. Email address is right there.
Yep.
Click on it. Send us your Oscar ballot and then watch with us on Oscar night. It's going to be a blast.
Hell yeah. I mean, while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter.
Get
an in-depth look of what we do week to week.
Yeah.
But let's
talk about these a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it. Man, I just watched Green Book last night, and I was hoping for A Star is Born, but a Green Book, man.
Yeah. I think anybody, if you're new to the podcast, you haven't heard yet, but if you're a regular listener, you know we have just been touting A Star is Born like crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
We loved it. We both saw we could not stop talking about it, and we still feel that way.
Yeah.
But a Green Book. This is the one with Marcella Ali and Viggo Mortensen about driving across the southern part of the country for a concert series. Oh man.
Oof, it was deep, man. Like, talk about the social message, and even not with the racism, even with being homosexual back in that time, and like just trying things out. It was oof.
Yeah, I mean there was so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just kind of threw that one out there. But the acting, the cinematography, the writing,
Yeah.
the directing, everything about this film is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just so well done.
Yeah.
I called it on the Golden Globes. I said it would be the sleeper, and I thought it would win, and it did. I kind of think maybe
for the Oscars
yeah.
too.
I kind of everybody's talking about Roma.
Yeah.
Roma.
Yeah, I was about to say this isn't Black Panther wasn't the only one to make history for the Best Picture. Netflix got a film nominated for Best Picture, Roma. But I mean, you watched this one, right?
I did. If you're not familiar with Alfonso Cuarón, you might know him. He's already won Best Director once. For Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, if you remember that movie from a few years back. I watched Roma, and I'm a film guy. I like old school. I like black and white. I like all this kind. I'll be honest. I stopped 3 times during it, and had to keep going back to it. I just could not watch it straight through.
Damn.
And I don't. Nothing against Netflix. Congratulations. Like J-Lo said, they made history. They're the first streaming service to get a Best Picture nomination. And the 11 overall nominations, like Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Picture. Congratulations. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see Best Director. I don't see Best Cinematographer. I don't get Best Script. I don't see Best Picture. Call me crazy. Let the hate mail come.
Right.
But I don't see it. I think A Star is Born, Green Book, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Klansman, Black Panther, all infinitely better than Roma. I'm not understand. The only one, and we can talk about this in a minute, that I think that Roma might possibly be better than, and forgive me, Kirk, we love you, Kirk, Vice.
Yeah. I mean, you said it wasn't that good.
No.
People walking out of the theaters.
I mean,
shit.
it's dropped consistently like 60% from week to week to week.
I mean, it wasn't even in the top 5.
No, yeah.
And
even after it got the Golden Globe stuff, you didn't see a boost in the box office. So that should tell you right there.
Seriously.
So,
I mean, let's move on to Best Director. I mean, you got Spike Lee, Black Klansman. I guess this is the first one he's ever been nominated for, right?
30 years he's been doing this, and this is the you think of Do the Right Thing and Jungle Fever, all these amazing films that he's done, and this is the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I can't even pronounce that next one.
Pawlowski.
There you go.
Yeah,
for Cold War, and Yorgos Lanthimos.
There you go for
the favorite, and like you said, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Adam McKay for Vice. But I mean, the only reason I still want to see Vice is because I want to see Christian Bale's acting in it.
Okay, and let me clarify, because I said I would put that at the bottom of my list for Best Picture. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was. The performances are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Kirk Boville is brilliant as Kissinger. Christian Bale is brilliant as Cheney. The one that really just blew me away, Steve Carell as Don Rumsfeld.
Yeah.
If you know Don Rumsfeld, you're like, oh, who's going to play? Carell nailed it.
Yeah,
all of the performances were outstanding.
Yeah,
the makeup, everything. But it couldn't save it.
Yeah,
it couldn't save it.
I mean, damn, it happens.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what's missing off this list.
Yeah, let's do it. Female directors.
Well, female directors. Yeah, but there's one that we were all shocked when they came down. Bradley Cooper.
I mean,
where are you, Bradley Cooper?
I know that really pissed me off. Maybe because they're trying to send a message, like you said earlier. Like they're trying to send a message. Maybe you got the best actor. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
I'm confused by this though. I've said this before about other films, Titanic. When Leo didn't win, all this kind of stuff. Okay, how do you get nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor? and not get Best Director?
Yeah, exactly.
He directed all of the acting performances. He edited and put together the film that got nominated for Best Film. How do you
start to finish?
I mean, that's what the director does.
Yeah.
How do you how do you nominate all of this thing and not nominate the director?
Yeah, seriously.
It just makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, that's the one I'm really shitty about.
And by the way, if you haven't seen it, I mean, I get that it's his directorial debut, his first one. Maybe the Academy's thinking, let's not give it to him right out the gate.
Yeah.
But It's a phenomenal film.
Yeah.
He did a brilliant job directing.
Yeah.
He deserved the nomination.
I agree.
He just did.
Completely agree.
And if I'm going to go even further, I think Ryan Coogler for Black Panther also. Mm-hmm. It's a brilliant film.
Yeah.
I mean, and the level and the scope of it, and you start him off with Fruitvale Station, and you just keep going, and you get to Black Panther, and you're like, this guy deserves it.
Exactly. But I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but Chadwick Boseman, he wasn't, I mean,
should have been
should have been
actor.
nominated.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
And J-Lo asked me this all the time when we're having these conversations. He's like, okay, but if you want to put Bradley Cooper on, or if you want to put Ryan Coogler on, who would you bump? Adam McKay for Vice. I'm sorry, it just was not good.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Yeah. But I mean, I really appreciated the editing and the directing in Black Klansman. That was a really good film.
Exactly.
That one definitely deserved it.
I'm definitely glad he's. And I'm telling you, with looking at this list, I'm pulling for Spike.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm pulling for Spike.
Yeah, especially since Bradley's not in there.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Black Klansman is infinitely better than Roma.
Yeah.
So, and Alfonso's already got one. Give it to Spike.
Exactly.
Just give it to Spike.
Just give it to him. Oh, my goodness. You know how many people would be happy about that shit?
Yeah.
All right, let's head to actor in a leading role. Christian Bale, Vice, Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born, William Dafoe, and At Eternity's Gate, Rami Malik, or whatever, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen in Green Book.
This one is tough. This one is really, really tough.
Yeah. Now, I still need to see the At Eternity's Gate, but I don't know, man. I could see Rami taking this one.
Yeah,
but I think that would be the only one that Bohemian Rhapsody takes.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, but then I mean, you throw in the performance of, Bradley Cooper because it's brilliant in A Star is Born. And then I'm sorry, but you just Viggo, I feel like is the big underdog.
Seriously,
that film and the performances,
his accent, his mannerisms, they were so New York. But
the just the pure emotion that he shows.
Yeah, the dynamic
between him and Marcella, and between him and his wife.
Yeah,
and between him and his Italian, kin. And it's just such a phenomenal performance.
It showed how far you can come once you actually know someone. I mean, spoiler alert. I mean, they start off at the beginning throwing away 2 glasses that 2 African American workers drank out of because his wife offered him some water.
Right.
But then at the end, he becomes best friends with this guy.
Exactly. So. And what I really like is that, in my opinion, they kind of, while he did throw away the glasses, and they kind of hint at this is all I've ever known.
Exactly.
I was brought up this way.
Exactly.
But they kind of hint throughout the movie that he's not a racist. This is just what he knows, what he was taught, and he realizes when he sees the flip side to the racism, because there's a part where Marcella Arlee's character says something to him and he's like, "Do you know how racist you just sound?
Exactly.
You're grouping me with all white people,
exactly.
but I'm not." And then he starts to realize, "Oh shit, well, I group you with all," and you can just really see the growth and. Yeah. And we could talk about that too, because supporting actor is Marcella Ali.
Yeah,
I'm like, how is he not lead actor?
Yeah, seriously, they both carried that film,
and they're in it equally. How is one supporting and one? I don't know.
I definitely feel like they should both be in lead.
Agreed. We'll get to that in a minute, though.
Yeah, but
actress, right? Actress in a leading role.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Bradley Cooper. And what about Vice? Do you think Vice will come away with anything?
I mean, Christian Bale did a phenomenal job as Cheney, but I don't know.
I don't know, man.
And will politics play into it?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole government shutdown, if it's still going on, and we know that just being truthful here, regardless of your politics, you cannot argue that over the last decade or so, the Academy Awards have become a bully pulpit for your social agenda.
Very much so.
And so, I just wonder if politics will play into the decision. I don't know.
I mean, you really don't know nowadays. All right, let's go over to actress in a leading role. I'm going to let you take these.
Yalitza Aparicio?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Wonderful woman, I'm sure. Delightful. I hear she was like a school teacher or something like that. That became now a Best Actress nominee. But I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Glenn Close, the wife.
She's the one that's been nominated like every year, right?
Yeah, she is now. She made a lot of history this time.
Yeah.
She made history by now becoming the most nominated person in Academy history to never win.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. And Lady Gaga, Star is Born, man. Really good.
I mean,
really good for her first role.
I'm just, and again, Bradley Cooper just brought out everything in her.
Seriously.
Phenomenal performance by a phenomenal director. And like, I don't know, Olivia Colman, the favorite. If for you guys who aren't familiar, if you're huge fans of The Crown on Netflix, Olivia Colman is taking over the role as the Queen in season 3. So I'm real curious.
Yeah,
you know,
see how that goes. Because I mean, Claire Foy, man.
Team Claire.
Yeah, seriously. And then Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me? This is that poem one, right?
Yeah, where she
I
steals,
really want to see this one. Like, steals other people's art or shit. And like,
yeah. And from what I, like, really is, I mean, best my memory can recollect, it's her first, like, serious role.
Yeah.
Like, she's had somewhat drama, but they had comedy in it. But this is like a straight out, like, serious role.
And man, can we talk about this a little bit? Freaking, she was also nominated for Worst Actress in a film because of
the Happy Time Murders.
Like, within 24 hours, she was nominated for Best Actress and Worst Actress.
And I loved her response. She took it very, very lightly and said, well, it just shows my range.
Hell yeah.
You know, I can be the worst and the best.
Exactly.
You know? So I don't rule out that all of these other performances negate each other and Melissa wins it.
Yeah.
I don't rule that out.
That'd be crazy. I definitely need to watch that film. All right, let's go to actor in a supporting role. Like we said, Mashallah Ali with The Green Book. Adam Driver, he was phenomenal in the freaking Black Klansman.
Yeah.
And he's from Indiana, so I got to represent my fellow Hoosiers. Samuel Elliott, this is the first time he's ever been nominated. What the hell?
Yeah.
That is a legend.
I mean, a legend and a phenomenal actor who's been in just some like unbelievable films and roles.
Seriously.
The one that jumps to my mind just almost immediately is Mask way back in the day.
Like, what the
with
hell?
Sharon. And I'm like, if you saw that movie, you're probably scratching your head right now going, wait, he didn't win?
Yeah, like
I
what?
mean, how is this his first nomination?
I do not understand.
Crazy.
What's up, the Academy? What's up?
I mean, this man is brilliant.
Exactly.
I mean, I would put him in anything.
Yeah.
Like, he's
honestly,
just so good.
Anything you want to be a part of, Sam, contact us.
Right.
crazyantmedia@gmail.com.
That's right. Come talk to us. We'd love to have you on here, buddy.
Seriously.
Do it.
Oh, my goodness. And we got Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me? Now, I don't know what this one's about.
No,
have you seen anything?
I have not.
Oh, man. So we got to get educated on this one. We got to get educated.
That's right.
And Sam Rockwell for Vice.
Yeah. And he's a great George Bush, W. You know, Bush. Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's been the impersonator for a while now, right? Like, for a lot of things.
Yeah, and he's really funny. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
My money's on Marcella Ali.
I feel you. I feel you. I mean, if you want to take over in the actress in a supporting role.
Yeah, we've got Amy Adams, Vice. Again, a wonderful performance as Mrs. Cheney, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
I think, put it this way, I think she's been in other things that far more warranted an Academy Award than this role. Marina de Tavaria for Roma. Again, I don't understand. Please reach out. Give me feedback. Am I the only one? Because I mean,
we've heard the other side of the aisle.
How all of these people are getting nominations for acting.
Yeah.
I just really didn't see it.
What?
This is the one I'm thinking is your sleeper, Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk.
I heard that one was good.
Yeah, and I mean, she's been winning a lot of awards for it. And I mean, if you know Regina King, she's another phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
I feel like this is her year.
Yeah.
I think she's going to bring home the
That'd
statue.
be epic.
I really do.
Hell yeah.
Emma Stone for The Favorite, and one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love Emma Stone.
I do too. She's awesome. Ever since Easy 8, and I mean, was it Adventureland? No, it was one of those.
Yeah, and I loved her in Birdman.
Yeah,
I mean,
Birdman.
come on. And Rachel Weisz for The Favorite.
Yeah.
So two favorites going up against each other. But I'm telling you, I think my money is on Regina King if Beale Street Could Talk.
Definitely. This next one I'm really excited about.
Oh, man. So pumped.
Seriously, the animated feature film. I mean, we got Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai?
Mirai. Yeah.
Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Oh, man.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm just going to, be real risky.
Yeah.
Disney will win this category.
Oh, no shit.
No, yeah, because they've got the best shot. They almost have every movie
Right.
in there. Incredibles 2,
Yeah.
obviously Pixar.
Yeah.
They've got Ralph Breaks the Internet, Walt Disney Studios. And while Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a Sony animation production,
It's Marvel.
I mean, it's Marvel
Yeah.
and Disney's racking up all the money off the merchandising
the
off of it. So
toys,
they're going to
like-
be happy even if Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse wins.
Seriously. I think it's going to be Incredibles 2. Everybody's
Dude.
just been waiting for this one for so long, but the one I want is Spider-Man Into the
Yeah,
Spider-Verse.
I'm going to go against the grain here.
Yeah.
Incredibles 2 was phenomenal.
I think
it
it's
was
just the
worth
overall
the wait.
choice, yeah.
It was worth the wait. Brilliant movie. Lived up to the first one, I thought. It was great. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was just freaking mind-blowingly phenomenal.
Yeah, the combination between like computer animation and hand-drawn
Yeah,
animation.
all the different things, and then the camera moves like that they incorporated, obviously done through computer,
Right.
There's not, but just all and the acting was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The direction was phenomenal. The script was really
Yeah.
great. It was just really groundbreaking,
Yeah,
in my
seriously.
opinion, and I think it deserves the win.
Exactly.
I'm pulling for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
And I mean, of course, if you're a comic book fan, one of your favorite villains is Kingpin. So it's
yeah,
fine.
I mean, absolutely. Well, and all the different versions of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I mean,
having all them pop
yeah.
up because not a lot of people know about all of them.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, they were fantastic. In fact, the movie was so good that they're talking multiple spin-offs.
Oh, wow.
From some of the
Yeah,
other
that's
Spider-Mans.
epic.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Hell yeah! All right, next we have original song.
Do we have to read all of them because this is a lot?
I know, right? Like,
I'm sorry, but
feel
this
like,
is a lot.
Yeah, Black Panther. I think it's going to be Kendrick Lamar's All the Stars. Like, that album did really well.
It did.
Streamed like crazy.
It did.
But you got Shallow.
Shallow.
Yeah, that's what you think. Yeah.
I think it's a lock.
Yeah.
I think Shallow is a lock from
Yeah.
A Star Is Born. I really do.
I don't know, man, because that album, that Black Panther album, people love
Agreed.
it. Yeah.
But I just think because I feel like A Star Is Born is not going to get all the biggies that
Yeah.
it was projected to get.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to give him the song.
Yeah,
I
something.
mean, I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see. We shall see. We got All Fight from RBG.
Yep.
We got The Place Where the Lost Things Go, the Mary Poppins Return movie. Still need to go see that one, man.
Yeah.
And When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Another Netflix
Yeah,
nomination.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
They
so-
got 15 nominations overall?
Yeah, 15
Yeah.
total between Roma and Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
So that's
I
interesting.
know, it's really interesting.
I'll tell you, like I said, I really think this is going to be Shallow, A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest things I saw was Elton John basically reached out,
Yeah.
and said to the co-writer there, hey, make some space on the mantle.
Yeah,
You're winning,
you're winning an
guaranteed.
Oscar.
Said, I don't want to jinx it, but I guarantee you,
Yeah.
you're winning the Oscar. I feel like Elton
I
probably
mean, yeah,
knows.
he probably
I mean,
does.
just,
I mean, I feel like he'd have the inside scoop.
Yeah.
For sure.
Then, like I said, a few more categories out there, but get your ballot, fill it out. We can discuss some more of the categories as we get closer to the Oscars.
Yes.
But those are the biggies.
Yes.
And let us know what you think. If you disagree with our picks, if give us feedback. What
Hell
do you
yeah.
think's going to win at the Oscars this year?
Exactly. Yeah, because we're very interested in what you think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So continuing on with industry news, I'm sure everyone has seen over social media and over, honestly, the news the past couple of days. Netflix and Hulu both released these documentaries about this failure of a festival, the Fyre Festival, where they invited, at the beginning, they invited all these social media influencers and all these famous people to the island to make it look amazing over social media so that they could attract these rich young kids to come to the island and spend all their money on this shit. Well, basically, it was a huge scam. Like, these people were promised, like, these crazy estates for, like, housing and shit, and promised villas and Airbnbs, but they got literally hurricane tents.
Yeah,
And, like, awful food. And even so bad that they put this caterer that was on the island, basically ran her through her whole life savings. But the good thing is that she just earned her life savings back over a crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah.
So that's so freaking awesome that it picked up enough traction that enough people cared to donate to it.
Yeah, this was insane. Like you said, I mean, they brought in supermodels and like just all this stuff to make it look like it was going to be the most epic, luxurious. If you weren't there, something with you didn't matter kind of a festival.
Ja Rule was attached,
And-
like Blink 182 was attached, but nobody was getting paid. Everybody was getting scammed by this guy, Billy McFarland.
All bullshit.
All
it was
bullshit.
all bullshit.
Yeah.
And so,
It's really crazy. But yeah, she doubled it. Her life savings were around $50,000, and she has like $130,000 going towards her business and her life savings now. So that's just so epic that people cared enough to donate.
Yep. Awesome.
So,
So they've got dueling documentaries about this. If
Yeah.
you're interested in seeing how it all went down, both Netflix and Hulu right now have documentaries on there. Both kind of told from a different point of view, I think. So, you might want to catch both. Go to Hulu and Netflix, watch them both, and then kind of, but I mean, I think there's only one conclusion. This guy was a total douche.
Exactly.
I mean,
the Hulu one, it's specifically interviewing him like face to face, and the Netflix one is more from the crowd's experience and everything. So it is super crazy. I started watching the Hulu one last night after watching the Netflix one, and I'm just like, this guy is just trying to bullshit the cameras now.
Yep.
Like, it's so stupid. If you're gonna watch one, watch the Netflix one. And I mean, of course, we don't know all the information. We're being told all of this information, so it's just a crazy situation. But a new thing that's rolled out at Spotify, you're going to be able to mute your artists now, and apparently this is coming after the whole R. Kelly thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you don't want to listen to artists or even see artists in your feed or recommended songs, or you can now shut them off.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool because, I mean, sometimes you're just going through shuffle, just streaming along, and something pops up. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you have to waste a skip on it,
Yeah,
especially like on Spotify.
Yeah, if you don't have the premium and you're on the skip, you gotta waste your skip on it.
Exactly.
Or suggested music because you listen to things and like, okay, well, I listen to this, but I don't listen to shitbags. So,
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to support these people, plus wasting my skip.
Exactly.
You don't have to waste your skips.
No. And so, R. Kelly obviously stemmed from R. Kelly, but let's talk about somebody who's probably also going to be on the mute list.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Chris Brown?
Chris Brown broke news Tuesday that he was arrested in Paris for a charge with rape, but then later in that same evening, he was released with no charges filed. He says he is filing a lawsuit
And
for
actually
defamation.
did. Yeah. Yep.
So, this is a pretty crazy situation. I mean, I honestly believed it at first because of his past. It's hard not to judge someone from their past, but that is a fault with myself and them. And there's faults on both sides, I think.
Right. Well, and we've talked about this before. Now, not saying that he didn't do this.
Right.
Not saying he did do this because
Exactly.
we don't know. But apparently there was not enough evidence to charge him.
Yeah.
And so there it is. But I agree. We've talked about this in the past, and it comes back to the power of a movement.
Yeah.
He has had problems in the past with the law.
Right.
He has put beat downs on women
Yeah.
in the past. He's had sexual accusations in the past.
Yeah.
So you want to believe that he probably did this when somebody accuses him.
Exactly.
But also you have to ask yourself, did this woman know of his past?
Exactly.
And knew
Just
that
try
if
to
she
scam
levied
him.
the accusation, people would believe her.
Exactly.
And so it goes to the whole Me Too movement and the power of a movement and the responsibility that you have to have.
Exactly.
Because if somebody does have a questionable past, you could lay out an accusation isn't
Exactly.
true and get them.
Exactly.
And so I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see. I mean, everybody has their own opinions on that. So, I mean, tweet us. What do you guys think? Do you think he did it? Do you think he didn't? So, I mean, we shall see. But, I mean, speaking of more scumbags.
Yeah, we have a trend going here.
Yeah, Bryan Singer accused by 4 more men. Apparently, these guys were teenagers when this happened. And it's ranging from harassment to rape. Like that. I mean, you said this has been going on for years.
Yeah, there's
and
been
nobody's been shining light on it.
Accusations about Singer and a couple of other people, including sometime frequent guest, apparently Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, who we talk about all the time on this. Yeah.
He would throw parties for young boys.
Yeah.
And they'd be big and swimming in the pool and having all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then if you were brought to him,
Yeah.
Now here's the crazy thing, because there's all kinds of stuff, and it goes into the apparently these charges that have been, or these against him, that these new allegations, these they go into sometimes boys would be brought and they would deem them, I guess, not attractive enough, but you could still stay in the good graces of Singer and the other people if you would in turn go get other boys to bring back. Then you were allowed to still stay at the party and in the good graces of.
That's just sick.
Yeah, and so like you said, there's back and forth. Some were accused of full out rape, and then others just sexually assaulted, kind of a but yeah, I mean,
it's just crazy. Like, I mean, like you said, people stray away from it for so long until it becomes like a huge message, a huge social issue. I mean, people have been saying stuff about Kevin Spacey and Weinstein forever.
For all these years,
Exactly.
I mean, it's like if you hear it once, you have to question. Well, maybe it's not true. He seems like a really good guy.
Exactly.
You hear it twice, you start to wonder. But over and over and over, you have to start to believe that maybe this is going on.
Exactly.
Maybe this is true, and we need to not avoid it anymore.
Exactly. Well, I mean, just to bring up something else, this is in industry news, but I mean, Michael Jackson, the news documentary series is coming out.
Yep.
But they're also about to do a life bio musical for him on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like, that's the exact same thing. You're just throwing shade and not even paying attention, but still glorifying.
Right.
And like at the end of the day, if he was acquitted in a court of law, like the only person that can judge him is God. But like, it's still like, what the hell?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we can skip to that right now with the documentary and everything. Apparently, the people in the documentary with this are the two young boys who, if you're familiar with this case, initially defended him, saying that it wasn't true.
Yeah.
And all the way up, even when through the trial and when they had the pictures of his penis, as evidence and all this, we're still trying to defend him and say, but now as adults have come back in this documentary and say, after time, after recollection, at now being an adult, working through the trauma with counselors.
This was abuse.
This was abuse.
Yeah.
We realize now what did happen.
Because sometimes you can't identify it
Right.
when you're
You're
not
a child.
old enough. To
Exactly.
understand. Like, you're very confused by the situation. If he's treating you good, like, you're just like, okay, he's being nice.
And so people are people, and now people are obviously hammering the documentary, saying they're out to get money because they defended him before, and now they're saying they're accusing him.
Yeah.
It's like you have to believe that it probably happened, and like J-Lo said, you reach a certain age where you can, oh shit, this was abuse, and it's not okay. And so you got to kind of look at that. And I feel, by the way, to finish up with Bryan Singer, as everybody knows, his next project is another big screen adaptation of Red Sonja, Conan female person, and they recently announced that they will not, in light of the new allegations, remove him from the film.
Oh, wow.
They're moving forward with,
I mean, we want to talk a little bit about the timing of these allegations too, right? I mean, his films just got nominated for Oscars.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. For anybody who doesn't know, he was the director on Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And there was controversy there. Apparently him and Rami Malek got in some heated discussions and some heated blowouts.
Things thrown across the room.
And he left. Bryan Singer left at one point, was replaced by another director. Then there was all kinds of questions about he left for a sick family member and then to deal with his own health issues. And then the studio denied that, but then kind of said, okay, that was the reason. But regardless of all that, he is the sole director credited on the film, even though somebody else came in and finished it.
Do we even know who that is? Like, does anybody know who that is?
Yeah, they announced that the other day. We'll come back to that. Maybe next week's show we'll let you know who that was.
But it's interesting timing, because I mean we gotta play both sides. We gotta play devil's advocate every once in a while. So I mean, it's interesting timing for these allegations.
And
to
Singer
come out.
made a statement implying just that.
Yeah.
If this isn't true, I'm tired of all this, and isn't it questionable that they drop it right after the film is nominated for an Academy Award?
Yeah.
And it is questionable.
Yeah, seriously. Well, let's get out of this dark corner now, and let's bring some more light. This is really cool. The Sopranos has cast Michael Gandolfini.
Gandolfini
Gandolfini as Tony for this. are for the young version of Tony in the prequel film. This is so cool because it's the son of the original actor.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so epic.
James Gandolfini's actual son.
Yeah.
Apparently they did like a nationwide search. They were trying to cast either an unknown or an established actor.
Yeah.
They went through all kinds, and it just turns out happens to be that James's own son is the best guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's so cool when things like that happen. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, with Ice Cube's son and NWA, like he was just the best for the job.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, that's what we preach every week. If you're the best for the job, you should get the role, no
Absolutely.
matter what. So,
And I mean, he does look like his dad.
Yeah,
I mean, I can
exactly.
totally see him as a young soprano, you know?
Yeah.
And oh, excuse me, I'm really excited about this because they just been rolling with this. They announced that Vera Farmiga and John Bernthal are
Yeah.
attached.
Oh,
Oh, my
wow.
God, Bernthal.
Yeah, Bernthal.
I mean, come on, a
Yeah.
Sopranos prequel with
Freaking- he's
John
a
Bernthal.
gangster, bro.
Like, I
Like,
mean, come on.
Hell yeah.
You just want to know, is the skull going to come out? Is he going to shoot the Sopranos? Is he
Right.
going to go all Punisher? I don't know.
Right. Let
You know?
Frank be Frank.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
He takes down bad people.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
man.
So funny. Well, some more awesome news. Michael B. Jordan signs a first look deal with Warner Brothers. Hanging the shingle, man.
Yeah.
I mean, every creator's dream just to hang your shingle on like a legendary lot and just create projects
And
for
have a
them.
production deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and can I just say, great choice to replace Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, as you guys know, they kind of just like finished that out.
Yeah.
You know, bought the Rat Pack 23 or Rat Dune Rat, whatever the hell
Whatever
Brett
it is.
Ratner's company was called there. And you know, bought the library and kind of ended that whole association.
Yeah.
Also, you know, back to the whole Me Too accusations again.
See?
But Michael B. Jordan, a solid stand-up, great guy.
Yeah.
Who's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
And appears to be ready to show he's a brilliant filmmaker.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't think of a better guy to get a deal.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what he comes out with.
Hell yeah. I mean,
it's gonna be-
Fahrenheit 451 was really good. I think that was his first one producing on.
Right.
Something like that. But
Right.
yeah, so I'm very excited to see what's going to happen.
Well, and he's real tight with Ryan Coogler, and I feel
Yeah.
like he's probably learned a lot from Ryan
Yeah,
Coogler behind the
exactly.
scenes. And
Yeah.
maybe we see, you know.
Yeah, they were on Fruitvale Station together, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that,
and so maybe we see, you know, Michael B. direct.
yeah. I mean, but maybe they're the new like Johnny Depp, Tim Burton. Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've heard Michael B. Jordan say in the past that anytime Ryan calls, he would go.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, there's
That's
just
really cool.
a great collaboration there, and it seems to work every time.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But now let's switch it up to TV a little bit. The most demanded series in 2018 was Stranger Things and The Walking Dead, according to Parrot Analytics. This is very interesting because, I mean, we say, almost, not every week, but almost a lot of the time on the podcast that Walking Dead ratings keep dropping.
yeah, and yet there it is.
It's
in
the most demanded.
demand.
And
What?
Stranger Things, I think, is interesting because it's like you see it, it's popular for, I don't know, maybe 3 months, and then like it dies down and it takes like 2 years to make it again.
Right,
So-
right. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And and we should clarify though. I guess it's fair to say while The Walking Dead has consistently dropped in the ratings from season to season,
Yeah.
it still handily wins its night and is number one by a landslide on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
So while it is consistently dropping, it still leaps and bounds higher in the ratings than anything else.
Yeah.
So, and then following up on that, they did another study of the most watched or in demand streaming show.
Yeah.
And you would think it would be something on Netflix,
Yeah.
right? But no. The most demand animated series is currently on the DC Universe streaming
Yeah.
service, and it's Young Justice, The Outsiders. And for anybody who knows, Young Justice used to air on the Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
and they ran for a couple seasons. It got canceled, and the third season had long been rumored. It was a huge hit. It's kind of like think Teen Titans, but not.
Yeah.
It's all the younger versions,
Yeah.
the mascots or whatever, and they call themselves Young Justice.
Yeah.
But it's got Robin and Kid Flash and all the
That's
the
cool.
young people. But it's also got all the mentors in it,
Yeah.
all the Justice League in
Yeah.
it. But anyway, it was long rumored for a third season, and then they announced they would be moving forward with the third season, and that it was going to drop on DC's new streaming
Yeah.
service. Well, apparently it's kicking ass.
That's awesome.
It finished just ahead of the live action Titans
Yeah.
series, which
Which
is
is
also
huge.
kicking ass
Yeah.
on DC Universe. Oh my God, so many things. They just announced today Deathstroke and Ravager and Jericho were going to be
Yeah.
on that next
That's
season.
crazy.
And can I do a spoiler?
Do
Can
it,
I do a
do it.
spoiler? If you watch the end of season 1, Superboy, Connor Clark.
yeah.
He's gonna be next season apparently also. That's
shit.
exciting as
Hell
shit.
yeah.
And that plays in because he's also in Young Justice. So there you go. Anyway, it edged out other ones like Daredevil and Punisher and all
wow.
the other streams.
Yeah.
So kicking ass, man. People
Yeah.
wanted to see this.
I wonder if there's been some resistance against watching the new Punisher season just because people think it's going to get canceled.
Well, I don't know. They just released some numbers yesterday and said that it had a 40% drop from its opening weekend, season 1 to season 2.
Interesting.
That said, it suffered a far less drop than all of the other shows, including Daredevil.
Yeah.
So they felt like that's it's solid.
Yeah.
They like it.
That's good.
So but you would have to think that it took a hit because people think it's going to be canceled.
Exactly. I mean, you would think. I mean, yeah, and to give another little tease, we're going to have someone from the season 2 of Punisher come on the show. That's going to be really fun.
And he's also all the seasons of Daredevil and Jessica Jones. That's a tease. If you can figure out who we're talking about.
We actually have 2 then.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I was talking about the other one.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, we have 2.
Oh, my gosh. We have 2 coming up.
Like, we have lots of superhero people coming on the show.
Yeah.
Like, I
Guys.
mean, 1984 Wonder Woman, like, just giving a little teasers right now. Might as well.
Well, let's just go ahead and say the next my favorite, Alita Battle Angel, sticking with the whole thing. We got Mr. I'm just saying this one. Mr. Sam Medina is returning.
Yeah,
Who am I? So
The
excited.
guy that always dies in movies.
That's right. But anyway, guys, over the next month or so, we have so many amazing guests coming on the show. You're definitely, and wait till you hear today's guest. I'm excited about today's guest.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of superheroes,
Speaking of superheroes still, Ryan Reynolds says there will be a Deadpool 3. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because, like, I thought they were just going to go forward with, like, the X-Force and Cable and all that.
Yeah. And he says he's already at work on it.
Yeah.
Writing it, and that it will be radically different from the first 2.
I mean, do you think it has to be radically different because it's Disney?
I don't know, because Iger, CEO for Disney, Robert Iger, has said that he's contemplating and seriously thinking about moving forward with a Marvel R division, as he calls it.
Yeah.
So
That would be awesome.
For things like Logan and Deadpool, and maybe now they're even talking about Black Widow being the first MCU R movie.
That'd be crazy.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
If you're going to incorporate Deadpool and the X-Men and Logan into the MCU, which they've already said they intend wholeheartedly to do, having an R division of the MCU where you can keep these characters the way they were meant to be is a great idea.
Yeah.
And I think Iger and Kevin Feige with Marvel Studios absolutely should do that.
Hell yeah.
I mean, don't make
Just
the
saying,
mistake
just
of
saying.
making them. Yeah.
Now, this next one, I just think Channing Tatum just wants it made. Gambit, he wants it made so bad that he said he's willing to direct the film.
Yeah.
Like, we've been talking about this since probably we started the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been in talks for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
And they keep losing directors and or the timing is wrong with Tatum and he can't but this has been a development hell.
Yeah.
Like it's the epitome of development hell.
Yeah.
But now he says, hey, I'll direct it.
Yeah.
I want to star in it.
And I'm fine with that, just to put it out, get it out there.
Yeah. Look, I think, well, and this is interesting now because this falls into now Disney and the MCU.
Yeah.
Gambit will be a part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
But I think he's so passionate about the character.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's going to be a brilliant Gambit.
I think that'd be a great Disney original for their streaming service.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Will it be theatrical or will they move forward and let it be a film on the streaming service?
Because, I mean, if you want to experiment, like I've said before, like with the Star Wars stuff, I mean, if you want to experiment, put it on your streaming service. You don't have to release it theatrically.
And anybody who's familiar with the comic books and Gambit, it's a great story.
Yeah.
I could totally see Tatum carrying a either limited series or full series of Gambit.
Oh, wow.
It's a definite week-to-week storyline. You know, well, I guess now you binge them. But, I mean, you could easily do a 13-episode run with Gambit.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting character and an interesting background. I'd be all for that.
Yeah, that'd be epic. So, I mean, we'll see how
maybe that's the direction.
Yeah.
Let's get it out of development hell. Let's forget the theatrical movie and make it a series on Disney's streaming.
Exactly. It's a good idea. I mean, we shall see. We shall see. But of course, as we said, we'll report on Netflix. American Son, which is a musical, is now coming to Netflix with Kerry Washington and the original Broadway cast. They're really looking to fill content, man.
They are really.
I was looking on there last night. They have some pretty good movies on there.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
So, I mean, they're just trying. They predicted this.
Yeah,
They know this is happening.
Yeah, they knew. 7 years ago, as they said. We saw this coming. We're prepared.
Exactly.
Okay, and so as we talked about at the top of the industry news, 15 Academy Award nominations.
Yes.
Let's remember that all of the other studios, and especially the theater chains, the exhibitors, nobody wanted to recognize Netflix as a legit player in the film industry because they're a streamer, they're TV, they're a streaming service. They don't make films. They're not a studio. Right. And their argument was that they never could win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, guys? 15 nominations. Even if they don't get Best Picture, likely going to get a Oscar out of those 15 nominations. Exactly. And, by the way, they own some theater chains. Mm-hmm. And just announced they are now the newest member of the Motion Picture Association of America.
Yes, well deserved.
Now, that's a group that is comprised of 6 other members who are all film studios. Yep. Disney, 20th Century Fox, although they're merging, so that'll just be one. But Paramount, all the biggies. You own a theater chain. You got nominated for 15 Academy Awards, and you're a member of the Motion Picture Association. Newsflash, people, they're a film studio.
Yeah.
Netflix is now a film studio.
Exactly.
And I don't care what anybody wants to argue, they are now legitimately a film studio.
Exactly. Especially, I mean, they got that space out in Santa Fe now.
Yeah, they bought 2 sound stages and studios out in Santa Fe. Yep. They're currently building one in LA also. Yep. They're for real, guys.
Exactly.
And, I mean, Disney, 17 total Academy Award nominations. Netflix, 15. We've said this time in and time out on this show every week.
The battle.
They are the 2 battling for dominance in Hollywood. And if there was any question about that, that was answered during the nominations.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, there's your 2 biggies.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people, though, that just refuse to accept this.
I know. Petty people. Petty people.
AMC and Regal, 2 of the largest theater chains in the country, refuse. As you guys know, after they announced the Academy Award nominations, most of the time they put the films back in theaters for people to watch so that you can, in case you didn't see them.
I saw it happen with Black Klansman,
Yeah, and but AMC and Regal refusing to show Roma will not include it in their Oscar previews because they just won't acknowledge that Netflix is legit.
Yeah.
As you guys know, they go back and forth with Netflix all the time because they don't want films released on the same day that they're in the theater.
They must be talking to Spielberg.
Apparently, Spielberg not so happy. What does Steve, come on and tell us what you think about those 15 Academy Award nominations.
Exactly.
Like, it's hard to ignore them now, Steve.
It is, bro. I'm just saying.
Hard to ignore them.
I'm just saying.
Steve, not a fan, doesn't think they're a studio.
No. Now, news, we broke last week that NBC was going to start its own streaming service. Well, apparently it's going to start in the beginning of 2020. So that's pretty close. I mean, we have no other, we don't know when Apple's coming out with theirs. We know they are, but we don't know when.
Right.
We've heard about Walmart streaming service. We've heard about freaking Warner Media streaming service. My bad. But they haven't had a date, but it looks like NBC has a date, and this is the free streaming site.
Right.
Guys.
And they've got a plan because they also announced this week that they plan on targeting individuals who don't need Netflix.
Yeah.
And when you read deeper into it, what they were saying is that there's a lot of content out there that people can find in numerous places and not necessarily have to have Netflix. And that's who they're going to be targeting. They're going to lure them by the fact that it's free, and then they're going to have their own NBC, universal content, and then shows that are available everywhere. Yeah. And that's how they plan on doing it. And then they've also announced that they've got a budget for a bunch of original content that they plan on putting on there as well. Yeah. So
it'd be really interesting. Maybe Hallmark-esque, maybe.
I mean, maybe. Hallmark kicking ass.
Exactly. I wouldn't doubt copying that success.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, why not? Hallmark is a free channel and it caters to a very specific audience.
Exactly.
And they are just raking in the dough.
Yeah.
And they are popular get out.
When do you think Hallmark will make their own streaming service?
Oh, they have one.
Really?
Yeah, they have an on-demand Hallmark channel that you can search and watch any Hallmark movie you want.
Damn.
Yep.
Go Hallmark.
They even got an app for it.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
But do you think Hallmark would air medical marijuana advertisements.
Isn't it legal in Canada too?
It is.
I mean, they just put
Fully.
it in Coke.
Yeah.
I mean, they like literally.
Yeah.
There's going to be marijuana Coke.
Yeah.
In it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they shoot almost everything in Vancouver. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody that was in them comes from California. So
Yeah.
you're in Vancouver. You're from California. I feel like they'd show a marijuana ad. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Now this was a segue
Bill
to
Abbott's
the next
calling
topic.
right now. Hold on. He's like, no,
hey,
no.
Hey. But it just
We
came
do
out.
not know this,
Yeah.
guys. Don't listen to us. We don't know.
But it was just a segue to the next topic.
right.
It was the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. CBS denies airing a medical marijuana benefits commercial. The Super Bowl spokesperson said CBS does not accept medical marijuana advertising at this time. So, when's it going to be appropriate? When it's legal everywhere, and then they're going to be like, yes, please advertise for us.
Yeah.
Do you I hope these people remember this.
Yeah.
And like, no, fuck you. You're not taking my advertisement.
Yeah, it's an interesting debate because what is it now? The 2/3 of the states.
It's like 20 legalized in some sort of capacity.
Right. So you're looking at more than half of the states in this country have legalized marijuana, either recreational and medicinal
Yeah.
or medicinal.
Yeah.
Which, and I feel like when they start collecting the tax revenue off the medicinal,
They're
they're
gonna be
going to
like,
go
"Oh,
ahead and do
shit."
the recreational
Exactly.
as well. I feel like, and come on, we know this is a debate talker here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is let us know what you think. But I just feel like the entire country is moving towards, they're going to legalize it
Exactly.
officially. Now, this is the tricky part, and I think this is why the NFL balked a little bit, because while all of these states are legalizing it, it's still federally against the law.
Yeah.
So if you're busted by a federal officer in that state where it's legal, you're
still
still
fucked.
being arrested. You're
Damn.
still fucked because it's still against the law.
That's crazy.
Federally. Which just I don't
really
know.
make any sense.
I just really do feel like anybody who's running for office in 2020,
Yeah.
I feel like that needs to be something that's on the
Exactly.
platform and looked at, because in the states that have passed it, the revenue generated,
Yeah.
the things they're able to do with infrastructure and fixing roads,
Yeah.
money that's been donated to education, it's a huge tax revenue generator. And
Man,
I don't know.
I don't know, man. But-
Let us know what you think.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
so
Yeah.
it's into, and maybe, like you said, down the line, CBS or any of the people broadcasting Super Bowl rethink it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, we shall see. We shall see. But man, good industry news. Good.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right, now it is time for our guest segment. This week, just building that relationship again and again and again between ourselves and America 2.0. We got the composer Antonio Lepore coming on. He's done other things such as The Lookout and Dark Secrets. Just a few things, just to name drop a little bit. But very excited to have him on, just
Hell
to get
yeah.
inside of his head, like what makes you think of the music when you think of a certain scene. Like, do you just start reading the script and then playing it? So it's gonna be fun to talk to him about.
Yeah,
it.
the whole process about what goes into, I mean, we always talk above the line people, actors in front of the camera and stuff, but we love to go behind the camera too,
Yeah.
and the whole thing.
Definitely.
And this is gonna be an exciting one.
Hell
So,
yeah.
all right, I think here he is.
Check.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Antonio, what's up, man?
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Oh, living the dream, buddy, living the dream.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Well, welcome officially inside the Crazy Ant Farm.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man, we are so excited to have you on. I mean, as all of our listeners know, I'm sure by now, we just absolutely love America 2.0.
Yeah.
Huge fans. And so we are always excited to have people involved with that on the show. First of all, congratulations, like we said to everybody involved, just hugely successful. We could not be more happy for you guys with that. So congratulations on that,
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys for all the love that you have shown for the podcast. It really means a lot to everyone involved in the project, And I talked to JS all about it, like how cool you guys were about tweeting everything. So thank you for that.
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
absolutely, man. And ditto. You guys have just been amazing for us as well. And we appreciate all the support and all the kind words you have for us. So, yeah. So, as you know, I mean, this is all just conversational. It's me and Logan today, Dustin and Logan today. So,
Thanks, guys.
and, just very conversational, sitting around the table, having a good time. We have a lot of listeners who are trying to break into the industry or are just getting started in the industry. And so one of the things we really like with our guests is, to get a little bit of background and how you got involved in it and just kind of go from there. And then we'll talk about projects that you're working on and have worked on and just kind of have a good time. All right.
Nice. Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess first question is, how did you get into film composing and television composing? Was it something you always wanted to do? Was music part of your background? Or let's talk a little bit about how you got into it.
Yeah, sure. Music, was always like a big part of my life. Growing up, I was a guitar player and I played in a lot of different bands, especially rock bands. I really like doing that a lot. Then I went to college, to Berklee College of Music in Boston. And I remember taking a class called Intro to Film Scoring, and, it just totally blew my mind because I always loved movies and I would always watch them. And, I was very passionate about music, and taking that class, it was like, hey, I could put my two loves together
Right.
and, actually do this full time. And that's where the spark kind of started. And then from there, it just kind of exploded, especially when I moved to Los Angeles. I got here, I was really fresh, I didn't know anyone, so I was like, hey, let me get an internship.
Definitely.
So you start meeting some people, and I ended up working for Marty Katz.
Oh,
And,
awesome.
Through him, it really, that really like gave me a big insight into the industry and how things work, and it was just a great experience from there. And then after Marty is when I met JS, and you just keep working and working, and up until now.
Yeah, definitely. We seem to have a trend going on with all of our guests. It seems like it's about who you know, especially if it's a good person in the industry. It's about who you know to work your way up to other projects and things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, a big part of it, I think, is like understanding how the process works.
Yeah,
'Cause,
definitely.
With music, we are talking post-production.
Yes.
If you're a screenwriter, I mean, that's like the very beginning. So it's just like understanding that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
Marty was really awesome about sharing all that knowledge. And through him, I had the opportunity to talk to like more seasoned composers as well. That really helped me like shape my craft and like how to approach a project and
Yeah.
how to go about talking to a director about it. It's like the more you know, like the better off you are, I think.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
And it's always good. It's a really important point that you bring up. It's always good to associate yourself with people who want to show you, when they see that you have an interest and want to learn more and know more, that you have these seasoned people that will sit and show you, hey, come look behind the camera,
Yeah.
or come check this out on the editing, or like you with the music, and this is how you approach. I think that's so important to let people out there know that there are people in the industry that will guide you if
Yeah.
you show an interest and that's you show a passion.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. That's totally right. And, that's how you get things started. Marty, I want to tell you this one story just to show you like how, like if you've worked really hard and like just like follow your passion, like it can really like open doors for you. But through Marty, I was able to like have a lunch with Michael Giacchino, which, a lot of people know.
Yeah.
He's pretty big. But it was awesome. This was like 10 years ago. I doubt Mr. Giacchino even remembers me now. But, we were talking and, I was going on and on about music and, I was excited and all that. And then in just the most awesome way possible, he tells me, but don't forget about the project. It's about the movie,
Right.
And that's like when it like clicked for me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, right. It's a collaborative effort and we
Yeah.
all have to work together. And yeah, just like the way, he thinks about story and stuff, it really, helped out. So that goes with your point that if you show passion, people are willing to guide you and give you advice on, how to be better about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, then you met up with JS Mayank, obviously for America 2.0, and Someday, which we'll talk about Someday in a little bit because wow, it's rocking the festival circuit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the how the process works. Like you said, the collaboration and it, it is about the film in the end. How does the whole process start? Is it in post production? The director approaches you, and do you get to see the dailies, or do you wait for the final cut? Or how does your process as the composer start?
Yeah, no, so because of technology, so much has changed in like the last 10 years. But usually a composer does come into a project in the post-production phase, and the director by then either has like a first assemble, he might have, some dailies, And if you're lucky, the project is a little bit more along, and it's like, okay, we have pretty much where we want to be. Let's start putting music and see if we can trim it down or extend scenes. Things of that sort, because the film is constantly changing. That's the other thing about it, right up until the end. Mm-hmm. And it's a very hectic process in post-production because everyone's trying to get it done. So I noticed early on, I was like, if I can talk to directors and tell them, hey, how about I start like composing ideas very early on in the process, let's say even pre-production, where we can just bounce ideas off each other.
Right.
Then by the time we get to post-production, we can massage those musical ideas to work with the picture. So that's kind of been my approach lately, is like writing everything way beforehand and going back and forth. And then by the time post comes around, we have about 3-4 hours of music that we can play with the picture.
Oh, nice. Now, is it different with a podcast other than like a film and television? Like, do you listen to it first and then be like, okay, I want this to come in here and I want this to come in here? Or like, how does that work? Is it different with a podcast or?
Actually, America 2.0 is the first podcast I ever worked on.
Oh, nice.
So that was interesting. But America 2.0, because JS is, just such a visionary.
He really is.
It comes to things. Yeah, the process was literally like, hey, Ann, can you write this, like, theme for this podcast that's like, the note was Stranger Things meets The West Wing.
I like that.
So that was the note. I was like, okay, that's interesting. So then, we started talking about story and character. And, the world JS has built, the characters, they just, even reading it on the page, they just jump out at you.
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
really incredible. So when we were talking about the theme, it's like, okay, the opening theme for 2.0, it has to encapsulate all this stuff.
Yeah.
How do I do that, So I was thinking, I was like, okay, so Seth is an underdog. And I'll try to keep this spoiler free. I won't,
Right.
He's an underdog, right?
Right.
So I was thinking, okay, in this crazy environment, this underdog has to go through. Okay, so I was like, the environment, how about we make that what's called an ostinato? And that's what the first things you hear, that dun 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 dun, that rhythm. And I was like, okay, that'll be like the environment. And the chords that I'm using there are not major or minor, so I'm not painting it dark or bright. It's kind of just like there. And then I was like, okay, then Seth comes in and, he's majestic, so let's use a French horn for that. And what I'll do is I'll start from the lowest register and move all the way up so that you can see the journey that Seth is taking.
Yeah.
And then by the end, it's like all the high notes,
Yeah, it was really awesome because you could really feel through the music where he was at in the story. Like, I really enjoyed it because I'm a music guy myself, so I completely understand. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I would say that Ride is the perfect description because Seth takes a little bit of a roller coaster throughout the series.
Yeah.
He hits some highs and lows, and just when you think it's not so good, it's good, and so you do it. And the theme song is
brilliant.
Just brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it just captures everything right off the bat. Coming into it, like I think you get all of the political feel, but then you also get the drama to it, and you understand that this is kind of something special. And just because the theme is the first thing that grabs you,
right.
and you wants to hold the attention. And I think you just, JS has said this, Spencer has said this, everybody we've talked to about it has said you just nailed it. You just get so inspired the second you hear the theme song, you got to listen to it. And I want it as a ringtone. I'll be honest, it's like fantastic.
It's like if we can work that out somehow.
Yeah. So congratulations on that, man.
Actually, over the holiday break, we had a Christmas version of it that you could download from the website.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, my goodness. How did I miss that? So, I tell you, though, fingers crossed, because I know all of us here, and we've said it countless times, and I know that all of our listeners and probably just all over the world agree, we want a second season at the very least, and we're hoping for... a television. I can only imagine what you would do every week with a television series, and it would just be amazing.
Yeah, we see JS in studios every day, like in offices every day, taking meetings.
Seriously.
Like, man, his work ethic is amazing.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But it really is. is.
But we're really,
sure.
I mean, seriously pulling for you guys. We hope that happens, and we're just going to continue to promote America 2.0 as much as we can because we really want that to happen for you guys. We think you guys have earned it and deserve it, and very best for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you could tell, but like in the podcast itself, there are moments where there's a lot of music. Like we didn't really tell listeners. We kind of just wanted people to go into the podcast. But for example, there's one episode where you hear like an opera scene.
Absolutely.
So I wrote the cue for that. So
nice.
All throughout the show, there's all these like random cues that JS asked me to do that we've inserted in there to make it feel like you're in that world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Scoring it necessarily, but we put music in there.
Yeah.
So just wanted to share that with you guys.
Oh yeah, no, it's a brilliant point because it's as they say, it's for your ears because it's all listening, and you're so right. I mean, everything from your score to the music inserts to all of the sound editing, really, from the footsteps to the plane to the. I mean, it was a brilliant job of the mix was just fantastic.
Yeah.
You really did feel like, especially if you were kicked back listening with the eyes closed, you could really find yourself in that world.
Yeah, you can imagine. You can see it, literally.
Literally. So, brilliant job by everybody involved.
Yeah, seriously.
So let's talk about you've had some big stuff, man. I was looking at the resume and really impressive. I mean, you're talking Wahlburgers, and I was like Ride with Norman Reedus. I think as soon as we say Ride with Norman Reedus, everybody goes crazy.
Right? Hell yeah.
Just a little bit popular show. So talk about that. I mean, how does that all work? Do you have a company that you put out and say, hey, I'll do it for this, or how does that work? How do they approach you for television shows like that?
Yeah, so I mean, the way that happened, believe it or not, I was just like tapped on the shoulder by a post-production house.
Oh, nice.
And I knew some people that were working there and stuff, and we were just talking, and they said, "Why don't you put like just a bunch of music together?" So I think I did something like 20 or 30 pieces of music, and I gave it to them as a package, and everyone's been placing it on all these like different shows and all these things. Which, surprised me. I was like, wow, like, that's really, like, picking up a bunch.
Yeah. Getting that recognition.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and TV writing, especially for shows like that, is very different from, like, a podcast or, like, a feature film. So it was, nice to do that. I might do more of it, depending on time and stuff. But, yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. It's just a happy surprise. But, yeah, it was just very natural. I wasn't even, like, looking for that necessarily. So,
that's a great story, how it just kind of fell in.
Yeah, like it's always the best when it kind of just falls in your lap.
Yeah, right?
And you deliver. That's the thing, because, I mean, how many times does it fall in the lap and you just can't get it, but you delivered, and it's fantastic. And, I mean, like I said, the resume is impressive. It honestly is. Let's talk about, though, I'm really excited about this. We're going to have Catherine Castro on soon, and so I'm really excited about Someday. Let's tell the fans a little bit about that and the listeners out there a little bit about that. That's a short film that you collaborated with JS on, correct?
Yeah, I worked with him on that, yes.
Yep. And it stars Catherine Castro, and it's basically about these two people who meet on an airplane, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and kind of like destiny takes hold and plays out. Yeah, I mean, so I don't want to give too much away because I know it's still on the film festival circuit, but it's winning all kinds of awards. It just which one was it now that just recently made a finalist, right? It made the cut for the finalist.
Berlin.
Yeah, Berlin.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's been rocking and rolling, and the trailer, you got to go watch the trailer if you haven't seen it, guys and gals. Go watch the trailer for it, and we'll post a link for it so that everybody can find it. It's just this amazing concept of these two people, the chance meeting on a plane and how it all plays out.
Yeah.
It's like, so this is heavy, man. So how do you even approach, like, Stranger Things meets West Wing. What's the Someday pitch?
Right,
like, two people meet on a plane. Where's his elevator pitch for that?
Oh, man. That one was... Because it's funny, when I was talking to JS about it, even he said, he's like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
So we tried a lot of different ideas, and funny with that one, actually, what you hear in the movie, I actually wrote from the script.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this was so because JS had sent me the script. And he said, I really like this short film. What do you think? And I read through it, and I was like, wow, this is really powerful.
Yeah.
Like, this is like amazing. And then, it got to the point where it's like, okay, we're going to make it and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll just like write out a couple of ideas. And I did that. And then I think a year might have gone by or something like that. And then he's like, hey, we're shooting someday soon, And I was like, okay, cool. I'll write more ideas. So I sent him new music, but he's like, it's not working. And then, he told me, he's like, wait a minute, you had like older music. So he pulls that out and he's like, oh my God, this is it. It's right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then it's like we just kind of put it against the picture, started feeling the scenes out. And then I extended certain cues, trimmed some stuff. And so that's how that one came about. That was very flowy,
Yeah, definitely.
Flowed,
Well, that's interesting because that's not a normal process, right? To actually start to write the music from the script.
It's not.
Yeah. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And powerful was a good word, because even just watching the trailer, you get this sense of how powerful and moving this film is. So that's an excellent description for it. And I can't wait, because like I said, when it's available, after it's off the circuit and it's out there, I'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, seriously.
And maybe all you guys, JS, you, Catherine, everybody, and back on to talk about it, because I think it's just going to do huge. It's a brilliant little film, and I just think it's fantastic. So how?
It definitely is, and the actors like Catherine and Chris, they just knocked it out of the ballpark.
Absolutely.
When you watch the movie, you just really connect with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, okay, because like I said, we got a lot of people that aren't familiar with below the line and post-production and how everything works, behind the camera. How do you go in? Because I think everybody sees these YouTube videos of John Williams and these giant orchestras in front of the screen kind of doing that. What's the do you do a lot of it on the computer? Do you have some instruments that you actually play singly and put in, or what's your process? How do you compose it?
Yeah, so it's a mixture of all that, actually. I do have a computer, and I work in with a lot of like different virtual libraries for orchestras and things of sort. And I also play guitar.
Nice.
So anytime I got to do guitar, I'll always do that myself. But also, when you start using effects and tools in the production process, you can alter the sound of a guitar to make it more droney, more like a pad, and you start creating all these interesting textures. So what I try to do is play as much guitar as possible to give it an organic feel at the orchestra virtually. And then, I'll do any kind of sound design, even a chair squeaking. It's I can record that and manipulate the sound to make it more synthetic or, give it a certain kind of feel.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really, we're at a point now where it's you can do anything you want. Your imagination is your only limitation.
Yeah.
Because it's just incredible the tools we have. And then once all that is done, I'll put it to picture. And once I get the thumbs up from the director, it's yep, that's it. It's locked. I'll try to record a real orchestra, real string players, as many real things as possible, depending on the budget, and certain things.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's super epic.
Yeah, and then so you've been at it a while. And kind of, I'm guessing, gone through the whole transition of film to digital. And do you like the idea of going to digital? Does that make your job as the process that you just described easier, or what's your thought on that?
For me, digital definitely makes the process so much easier. From a music standpoint, especially from music, because back in the day, when you were pitching music to a director, all you had was a piano.
Right.
So, you're playing the piano, you're and this is where the strings come in.
Yeah.
And this is where the brass comes in.
Right. It's a lot of imagining things.
Yeah, it's that's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
But now even with JS, I can send them and I'll tell them hey, here's just a rough demo I put together, in a few hours. Is this in the right direction? And he can take a listen and say, fix up the string section. But, that sounds great. So already I can have quicker feedback.
Right.
I can already start painting the picture of, what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess too, in that same sense, if he's already shooting and you're sending, he can put it to picture roughly and see if it, because in the whole digital process, he could just take yours, put it right into the timeline and put it to picture to see. I got to imagine that's a whole lot easier.
Seriously.
Yeah. It really, speeds things up a lot. So then it's just, okay, that's why I like to start working earlier in the process now, because I know they can do that. So it's okay, let me give you as many variations as I can and as many ideas as I can so that you can have the freedom to do what you want with it.
Right.
So how involved? Do you get a set of the storyboards? Does that help you kind of guide along with like where he's going picture wise to help you kind of push the score along, or do you just strictly go from this is what the premise is, this is what the script is?
Yeah. So I mean, with JS particularly, like, I mean, we just talked for hours and hours about story, character.
Yeah.
Even before he writes the script, sometimes he'll say, I have this crazy idea,
Yeah.
Or he'll just say, I have this crazy script. You want to take a look at it? And, after we do that, we just literally talk about like everything and anything to do with the story and the characters. And when we start trying to integrate the music to it, we'll start talking like, well, what's the emotion that we want the audience to feel? Is the music speaking for a specific character? Is it speaking for the situation? Do we want like a theme that goes throughout the whole project? Do we want like just leitmotifs, like everyone gets a theme? So, by just like talking about it,
Right.
It kind of all just like comes together. Like you get a pretty good sense of like what the director is looking for and what he wants. And then you can always say like, do you want music that like is more, you can break it down and like, do you want it scary? Do you want it happy?
Right.
Right.
Do you want strings to be there? Like, and you just ask questions. Like, I think part of being a composer, it's like you're writing music, but it's also like kind of being a therapist.
Right. Right.
Because you're just trying to like understand, like, okay, what's going on?
What's
here?
the feeling?
Situation?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. And for anybody who knows, I could totally. I'm just thinking in my head the whole time you were saying what you were just saying about JS, because he can talk.
Yeah.
He like when you say no, we just talk about everything, and he just comes at me. I'm like, I believe that because I just go back to his interview, and we're like, so introduce yourself. And 8.5 minutes later,
Then we got a word in.
It's like, yeah, he can talk. So, but how amazing it, because you guys said, like you said, you've known each other for a while now and you collaborate from project. Isn't it a great thing to be able to have this team that you can just go from project to project with, and you know what you're going to get, and you trust that they're, that you can work together and have the same vision? That's an amazing thing, right?
Yeah, just to have that open dialogue.
Yeah, no, it is incredible. And I feel really lucky to be able to work with JS and all these things, because it really is. When you're a kid, like you're playing in your backyard and you're imagining all these things, it's like we're kind of doing that now, but, I do the music, he writes stories,
right.
Like, it's a lot of fun. And being able to work with the same people, you kind of get accustomed to their style, their flow, the way things come together. And then that's how you start making amazing things, I think, because your minds all just like connect.
Agreed. Agree wholeheartedly. I think that's where the magic happens, when you find the right group of people and you're all on the same page and you all have the same passion and you just go for it. Yeah, I think that's when the best stuff happens. And you guys are proving that daily, it looks like. I mean, seriously, you guys are just amazing. So what's next? Well, one more question before we get into what's coming up with Antonio. Have you ever done anything different from just like score or like inserting music? Have you done any engineering, sound effects, or any kind of other type of sound work in film, or has it strictly always been composing and score?
I have done other things, like different sounds. Earlier on, like years ago, I would do Foley as well.
Oh, cool.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I am familiar because, audio is audio. Like once you understand, this is how to record. It's pretty straightforward. But I mean, I don't do that so much right now. Now it's mostly like all about music and just, music and creating that world.
There you go. That's awesome.
Okay, so what's coming up for Antonio? What you got in the pipe? What can we expect?
Okay, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't know how much I can talk about.
No, we know that. Don't worry.
We understand. We understand.
That just means we invite you back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Well, there is one short film that I'm working on right now. It's called Silences, and it's another really like terrific story, and it's from a director that JS actually introduced me to. His name is Ohad Amram.
Okay.
And so I'm working on that right now. It's a drama, and it's really great. Aside from that, I'm working with some stuff with JS, and I'm also doing some stuff with Catherine.
Fantastic.
So there's actually a lot of stuff in the works, and hopefully in the next few months, we can announce most of these things.
There you go.
That would be amazing. And I'm hoping that you guys come on and just break it right here on Inside the Crazy Ant Farm that America 2.0
Hell yeah.
is getting a second season.
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying. I want the announcement right here on this show. Seriously, though, we would love to have the three of y'all back, Catherine, you, and JS, on the current stuff you're working on. I mean, I think that'd be a great show to have the three of y'all on together. And that'd be great.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, with all the things that are coming, I'm sure that we can make that happen, right?
Absolutely. Well, and the ants are coming, man. We're headed to LA in May to stay, so that would make it a whole lot easier.
Oh, that's exciting. Wow, May. All right, guys.
Yeah, well, so maybe we get the three all together in the studio and have a little fun. I mean. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on. And we always kind of like to end it with, what advice would you give people who are trying to break into the industry, especially in your area of the industry? And what pitfalls would you kind of warn about, looking out for or kind of avoiding or to be aware of?
Okay. Funny enough, I actually was talking to JS either yesterday or the day before that. And you asking this actually brings that conversation. But one thing we said was, as a beginner and also like, as you're going on through the years, it's like always learn how to write your way out of things.
Yeah.
Right.
So meaning like be so good at your crafts, like write so much music and be so good at it that no matter what, like, you are bringing the best that you can.
Yeah.
And, like if it is really good, people are going to say, well, like we got to have this in our movie. Like, this is awesome. Right.
Yeah.
So it's just, to me, it's always work your hardest. Like, never limit yourself. If someone says something's impossible, it's not true. They just didn't try hard enough.
That's right.
Oh, I love that.
Always push forward,
Yes, absolutely. And what about some pitfall? Are there some things that people should look out for when they come out there and try to get into the industry? Some things that maybe you saw or had to experience? I mean, that they should be aware of?
If it's too good to be true, it is.
There you go.
Don't believe it. Don't like, I mean, I understand like when you're starting out, like you do work for free and that's okay. Like start doing that, but be compensated for your work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Don't be scared to say, to the director, like, hey, like, I mean, we did all these things together. Like, can you spare like, something,
yeah, exactly.
Effort, especially like when you're starting out, because it's like you're broke and
absolutely.
You have, unless you come from like a really wealthy family,
right.
But most of the times people, it's tight on budget. You have to get a side job.
Yeah.
And that derails, kind of like what you want to do. So always, get compensated for your work, when you can, but put in the work, put in the effort to be the best that you can be. Don't just expect, money to fall from trees.
Absolutely. I like that. Be generous, but don't be like, it's free.
Yeah. Like, listen.
There's a difference between being generous with your time and then not being taken advantage of where you don't get any. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Like, at least feed me today. Like,
exactly. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on the show today and talking with us. And we are super excited about everything you got going on in the future. And you're a stand-up guy. Everybody involved with the whole project out there, all of y'all have just been amazing.
Yeah.
And open invite, man. Anytime you want to come back on and talk about stuff you got going on, or just come on and join us for a top 5 segment and have some fun with us, man. Anything you want, you let us know. We'll make it happen, man.
Nice. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are seriously so awesome. And thank you for all the love, support for 2.0. And, this has been a blast. I really enjoy talking to you guys.
Oh, man. Our pleasure, dude. Our pleasure. Have a great rest of the day and a great weekend. And we'll be hollering at you soon, buddy.
Awesome. Take it easy, guys.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Epic, man. Just a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
I love hearing the process because, like, I mean, do you get the script first? But apparently, you wait until after it's shot, and then you see when you want to bring things in and how everything works musically. It's a really cool, interesting experience.
It really is. And I mean, honestly, because I've been, as you like to say, I'm old now, but I mean, I've never heard anybody say I wrote to the script.
Yeah, that's
and then
crazy.
kind of changed it all up. It's
just
normally
shows how powerful it is,
right? To a print or a daily or or so that. Wow, that's also, boy, how times have changed. I love that he says, "Oh yeah, I put it all together on the computer and I add all these and then we record it with an orchestra."
Exactly.
Like, that's so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to hear the process.
Hell yeah.
One thing was for certain though. I guess like with everybody involved with America 2.0 and passion. This guy
Seriously.
clearly loves
Yeah.
what he does and is fun and just what a great guy.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Everybody associated with America 2.0 is freaking phenomenal.
And by the way, if you don't know what America 2.0 is after this interview and after us talking about it, go look for it. It's everywhere you
Seriously.
can find a podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, listen to it, and you'll love it. We guarantee you. You're going to love it.
Yep. All right, now it is time for our top 5 segment. Man, it's only going to be us two this week because everybody else slackers. But
To be fair, though, this was a hard one.
it was.
Okay, let me read. It was much easier for me
Yeah.
because as the gaffer,
Yeah.
as the old guy, I'm aware of the actual TV shows that these movies
Yeah,
were made
exactly.
from. You guys are like, that was a TV show?
yeah.
I'm like listing examples and they're like, that was a TV show? It's
Oh
like,
my
oh
gosh.
boy, yeah.
Yes, but yeah, this week it is TV shows turned into movies. Man, let's just get into it. I got the Simpsons movie because I was a huge fan of that movie. I'm not even gonna lie, I like the Charlie's Angels movies with
right.
Cameron Diaz.
I have a
and-
guilty pleasure one on here too. Don't worry.
Okay, good. 21 Jump Street, those two were pretty good. I was really surprised with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
Was that 4?
It's 3.
Okay.
I got the Scooby-Doo movies because those those are funny, and Jackass is hilarious. And I mean, they kind of like played it too long, oversaturated it, but I like the first 2. Yeah. So that's my top 5.
Well, that's. I mean, good.
Yeah.
I agree with most of those. I loved Scooby Doo, the first one.
Yeah,
I
the
think they
second
started. They
one-
needed to stop, but the
Yeah.
first one was brilliant.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, here's mine. The Fugitive.
Yeah.
Right. Right. I mean, I just Harrison Ford and stuff.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
yes, to our young viewers, it was a TV show. Mission Impossible.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Star Trek. I mean, both.
of course.
I like the William Shatner version
And,
of it. I love the Star Trek, the Next Generation
Yeah.
version. I love this new stuff with Chris Pine and
Yeah.
all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's all a huge fan. Okay, here's my guilty pleasure. Are you
Oh,
ready?
goodness.
The Brady Bunch.
Really?
I loved the first Brady
Yeah.
Bunch movie.
Oh,
It was
man.
freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
And huge props to Gary Cole and Shelley Long. They
Yeah.
fucking nailed the voices.
Yeah.
I don't think Gary Cole could have pulled off the voice of the dad. I swear it was like he dubbed it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I don't know, just guilty pleasure. I
Yeah.
fucking love that movie. It was
feel
hilarious. And then my number 1, Entourage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Entourage.
I can't wait to watch that one, man.
Oh my gosh, man! Look, they made a film out of it. If you
Yeah.
guys aren't familiar, but it's. I just love the show. I thought the show was brilliant. Piven, we want you, Piven. We want
Seriously.
you.
Come on the show.
It's the most accurate adaptation of what really goes on in Hollywood that
Yeah.
I have ever seen.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant show. The film was great. There you go. That's my 5.
I just reviewed Entourage on Fantastic Reviews, episode 10. Go check that out. It's been 10 episodes already, or
Wow.
11
Wow.
now. Yeah,
Wow,
I know.
chill.
Coming up.
All right.
But yeah, let's take it back in time now,
All right.
Gaffer.
All right. And we're taking it way back.
Are we?
This is-
Oh, shit.
yeah. My mom was 2.
Oh, shit.
Okay?
This
All right.
day in history.
This day in history. I was shocked by this one.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. 1947. This day in history. The first arcade/video
Oh,
game
wow.
was patented.
Really?
Thomas Goldsmith's cathode ray tube amusement device. Now, for anybody who's a youngin' and only has HD flat screen TVs,
Yeah.
cathode ray tube is a TV.
Yeah.
It's the old TVs with the actual big box,
Yeah.
and they had the
Huge
tube in the
box,
back.
Yeah.
Heavy as shit. So anybody wondering what the cathode ray tube, it's a TV.
It's a
and he
TV.
called it the cathode ray tube amusement device.
It just reminds me of a catheter.
Right.
Oh,
ouch.
ouch.
It is considered the ancestor of the modern day video games. The device, and you remember Missile Command?
Yeah.
The old Atari
Yeah.
game, Missile Command?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was a lot like that. It says the device simulates an artillery shell arsing towards. Arsing. Is that it must be a weird word there. Anyway, arsing. Let's just go racing towards targets on the screen, controlled by the player by adjusting knobs. So think ColecoVision or old Atari.
Yeah.
But even before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go.
That's pretty awesome.
Right?
Hell
Like,
yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
1947.
Yeah, seriously.
I thought,
like maybe I don't know, maybe the late 70s. I was thinking.
right?
I don't know
Right?
though. I'm a young.
Yeah, or like
young
right before the Atari boom,
Yeah,
in the early 80s,
exactly.
late 70s, early 80s. But no,
Yeah.
1947.
Man, it's crazy. But now, word of the day.
Word of the day. We don't have Sound Man here today, so I'm going to pick up the slack there.
Yep.
This is an interesting one. I just thought it was fun. Amorphous. Amorphous. Without a clearly defined shape or form, or vague and ill-organized. Amorphous.
Sounds like a superhero villain.
Right?
And like
who becomes all without shape or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Amorphous.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe we have the plot of our next animated show.
That's right. Amorphous man. I mean,
He could be like jelly. I don't know why, but I think of Flubber, that Robin Williams Flubber.
Without shape.
Yeah, just
That's
Oh man. Well, let's get into the box office predictions this week. I messed up last week. The only movie that came out last week was Glass. Serenity and The Kid Who Becomes King comes out this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
So I mean, I still don't think it's gonna do good, guys. It's last week I predicted Glass be number one, which I got with around 40 to 50 million. It was 40.3 million, right there in the ballpark.
Nice job.
Yeah.
By the way, well under estimates.
Yeah,
The
seriously.
initial estimates were
Surprised
having
by
it
that.
between 60 and 80, so
Yeah.
it came in well under.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not hearing good things.
No,
Yeah.
and yet, same thing. I'm not hearing any good things about it really, and yet they're predicting it to be number one again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how do you say it sucks and then say, but it'll be number one again?
I know.
What does that say about the rest of them coming?
Seriously, like what the hell? And I mean, Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey.
I know.
And
How
Serenity.
can you say, like, I'm excited about this movie?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
I do not understand. But last week I predicted Aquaman be number two. It was the upside again. With I predicted 10 to 15 million. It got 15 million, so that's pretty awesome. Number three, it was Aquaman. I predicted it to get around 10 to 15 million. It got 10.1, so I'm coming like right in.
Yeah,
like
no.
it's pretty awesome. Now the sleeper that I was completely surprised about, nobody saw this shit coming. Number 4 was Dragon Ball Z Brawly. Like,
Yeah.
What? Like,
I'll be honest.
I
and
did not know.
Please, everybody in the basement, don't get mad at me. I didn't even know there was a new Dragon Ball Z movie out.
I know.
I hadn't
didn't
heard
see
anything of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, no one told us, guys. What the hell? Quiet on Twitter. You need to tell us. And then
Come on, Goku fans.
right? Like, and then number 5, still in the top 5, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Universe, 7.6.
Like we said at the top of the show, bro, it deserves the Oscar. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all. It's still in the top 5.
Yeah, seriously. But number 1, I'm gonna go with everybody else. I'm gonna predict Glass at number 1 with like 25 to 30 million. I really don't know. The numbers have been really wacky. I'm not even gonna lie. Number 2, I think this time it will be The Kid Who Would Be King, that new King Arthur one, with around like 10 million. Number 3, I think it's going to be The Upside, Kevin Hart and dude from Breaking Bad. Great movie. It looks phenomenal. I think it's going to be around 5 to 10 million. Number 4, I think it's going to be Aquaman with 5 to 10 million. And number 5, I think it's going to be Serenity with around like 3 to 6 million.
Wow, all the way at number 5.
Yeah.
You know what one kind of just like went away without much fanfare, which I was kind of disappointed about? Escape Room.
Yeah. Yeah, I only saw it on the charts for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of looking forward. I mean, truthful, I haven't seen it, but I
Yeah.
was kind of looking forward to it, and I thought it would be much better than But
seriously.
So I like your numbers. I don't know order wise. I would disagree with a couple of those, but I think you're spot on with the numbers because I'm real interested now that the nominations are out. We're going to see a lot of re-releases of those films and or where they were still playing.
Yeah.
I guess people going back to that. So I like your numbers. I think that's going to draw down ticket sales
Yeah.
for some of the other movies.
Yeah.
Because I do think people will
yeah.
go see the Oscar movies.
Because I'm thinking it's going to be a low box office weekend.
Yeah.
All right, there's not. Nobody's going to really break 30 million. So
I don't think so either.
yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Well, then switching it over to music, nothing's really changed over here. Hot 100 Hazley, Without Me, the second week at number 1. Good for you. Top 200 albums, A Boogie with a Hoodie. This is his second number 1.
Boogie with a Hoodie.
Yes. So proud of you guys. Bravo. Good for you. I don't know of any anticipated music coming out, so I've been kind of slacking with that. I'm not even gonna lie, but we've been so busy here at Crazy Ant Media,
true.
just building and reorganizing. Make sure to subscribe to our newsletter. Make sure to follow us on all social media handles. Like, it's been phenomenal, guys. We love to come back and do this show with you guys every
Definitely.
week.
Can I drop? Something
it.
did drop today.
What happened?
I'll throw out a little because I'm a huge
Boom.
Cloak and Dagger fan.
Yeah.
Let me clarify this. I'm a huge Cloak and Dagger fan. Olivia Holt dropped a new song today.
Oh,
Distance.
really? Wow.
Check out her Twitter feed or
Yeah.
Instagram feed. You'll see it. Distance. Check it out.
Distance.
Olivia Holt, come on the show.
Yeah.
Come on the show, Olivia Holt. We
be
want to
epic.
talk Cloak and Dagger.
Hell
okay?
yeah.
You're right down the street in New Orleans. Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, it'd be so easy.
It would be so easy.
Yeah. Hop, skip, and a jump.
So there you go. My little music throw in there.
Exactly,
right.
exactly. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming and getting crazy on this 51st episode. It's been fantastic. Thank you for always giving us support. And if you guys have seen those new polos that we got,
Oh,
man,
what?
new merchandise coming soon. We're still working the logistics out, but man, stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow us on all social media handles at Crazy Ant Media, YouTube channel. Watch our videos, all that good shit. Visit our website, crazyantmedia.com, to subscribe to our newsletter and just keep up to date with what we're doing. We're always reinventing shit.
We are.
Yeah.
Because we're crazy. That's the whole
Exactly,
point.
exactly.
And as always, huge shout out to, and thanks again to Antonio Lepore for
Yes,
joining us.
seriously.
Check out America 2.0. Fingers crossed that second season. Okay, second season.
Wishing for it, yeah. And I mean, once you get all the way through it, there's a 7th episode. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's a panel with them getting interviewed by the Hollywood Reporter, and you might hear a little bit of us.
Yeah,
a little,
yeah.
little shout out.
Yeah,
little
we
something,
may
something.
or may not have been out in LA with them. Check
Yeah,
that out.
Exactly, exactly. But anyway, guys, thank you. Get crazy, stay crazy. And you know who else is crazy? Oprah!